What an awful day it was. After I disengaged from the fight with the 3 Nieuports and landed back at Douai, I hoped to soon see the return of my 2 escorts. My heart sank when only one appeared above the airfield, but maybe the other one had landed somewhere else? This belief was dashed as soon as Hess landed. He had seen Büchner collide with one of the Nieuports, and both aircraft had gone down. The fight had cost us Büchner. A terrible loss of an excellent pilot, just a few days before he would have gone on an extended home leave to his family to celebrate Christmas with them. This is the first loss I witnessed since I joined the squadron, and it hit me hard. Disbelief that such a talented pilot had not been shot down, but perished in a collision. Regret that Büchner had essentially died while trying to defend me. It all mixed with shame that I had not been able to prevent it, and furious anger at the French Nieuports who keep attacking us. On the next day, Bölke returned to the squadron and brought with him another pilot, Leutnant der Reserve Alfred Österreicher, and also a full complement of FOKKER single-seat scouts. Our unit was now transformed into a pursuit squadron. Bölke, Immelmann and Büchner had worked towards this goal, and it was a tragedy that Büchner was no longer with us to witness it. With delight, I took delivery of a FOKKER E1 that was from now on my new personal aircraft. The small and light aircraft is powered by 80 horsepower Oberursel rotary engine with 9 cylinders, which will propel it to a speed of 120 km per hour at sea level. The aircraft is armed with a synchronized 7.92mm Parabellum machine gun, allowing it to shoot through the spinning propeller. Unfortunately, the synchronization gear installed is of the first generation of this device, and the rate of fire is very slow. I will have to get used to flying this aircraft, as roll movement is not achieved with ailerons, but by warping the wings with cables affixed to the top and bottom of the wings. God help me if ever one of those cables snaps. Receiving the FOKKERs also meant parting with our aviatics. They and their crews, except for myself, were to be transferred to other units. With a heavy heart, I said goodbye to the pilots and observers who had been my companions for the last 2 months. Saying goodbye to my observer Otto, who had kept me alive through our encounters with enemy planes, was especially difficult. We wished each other well, and I once again urged him to apply for pilot training. He promised to do it, but if they would not have him, he would seek a position as an instructor for observation and aerial gunnery. Even God won't be able to help the enemy pilots who find themselves behind one of our 2-seaters if Otto should succeed in passing on his skills to other observers. On the next day, I took my aircraft up to familiarize myself with it while flying a few loops around the airfield. It can be a very nimble aircraft if used well, but it is a handful to fly. The wing warping gives it awkward rolling characteristics. If you turn, the wing in that direction drops away almost instantly, but it takes much more effort to right the plane again. The centrifugal force of the rotary engine makes itself really felt in such situations. The rotary engine also does not have a throttle control. If you want to slow down, you have to do this by interrupting the ignition of the engine. I practiced a few maneuvers, including the 180-degree turn that Immelmann is becoming known for inventing, and then landed again. I really looked forward to patrolling in this plane. The High Command had made a decision that was to be very limiting for us, because they feared that the FOKKER going down in enemy territory might give the secret synchronization gear technology to the Entente. We are not allowed to fly into enemy territory. Therefore, we could only fly patrols on our side of the lines, trying to prevent enemy scouts from conducting reconnaissance or attacking our bases and balloons. The second half of December and the first part of January 1916 were characterized by a lot of bad weather days, and therefore by a lot of inactivity. On the 15th, Immelmann scored his 7th victory against an enemy observation plane. I was not assigned to fly a patrol until the 18th of December, when we were joined by the young pilot Siegfried Henger. Our squadron took off in full strength for a patrol behind friendly lines. What an awesome sight it was to see 6 FOKKERs fly in formation. Apparently, the enemies thought so too, because they didn't dare to venture into our vicinity. Henger later swore that he saw flak bursts closer to the front, but that might just have been the nervous mind of a young pilot. More bad weather days and also a short leave over Christmas, which I spent in Lille, since the leave was too short for return to Germany, had kept me grounded until the 26th of December, when we flew a patrol protecting an observation balloon. An uneventful flight through spectacular cloud formations. The FOKKER doesn't have a top wing and therefore offers great visibility, but it also leaves the pilot fully exposed to the elements. There is no big engine block, no Otto, and no top wing to keep wind and rain away from me. It has become very cold. Sometimes light snow falls and remains on the ground in shadowy places. Another spell of bad weather kept us all grounded until the 30th, when we, resolved to finally make our presence felt against enemy airplanes, patrolled the front line. Again, no enemy dared to venture into our vicinity. Apart from vicious enemy flak near Arras, it was another calm flight. A day later, we flew an early morning patrol to guard an observation balloon. Apparently it was too early for our esteemed adversaries, who did not show. On the first day of the new year, we almost made a grave mistake. The weather in the morning had been very bad, grounding all aircraft. In the afternoon, the bad weather front had moved away to the east, and 3 of us, led by Bölke, decided to go up for an afternoon patrol, to patrol near a friendly airfield. We were surprised by a very strong wind at altitude that threw our light aircraft across the sky. These were the worst turbulences I had experienced so far, and I hoped that my wings and the cables attached to them would hold up to the strain. The strong wind delayed our progress considerably. I threw nervous glances at the horizon, where the sun had set. Just a sliver of daylight remained, and with a sinking feeling in my stomach, I realized that we wouldn't make it back to our airfield before darkness set in. Would we be able to find it, or would we have to sit down in a field, hoping that we wouldn't crash into an unseen obstacle? I didn't want to die to a random fence in a field. With the last little bit of light, we found Douai Airfield, where the crews, anticipating our late return, had lit lamps in the tents and buildings, and also fires on the edges of the field. Thus guided, I managed a rough landing. The strong wind brought more bad weather during the night, once again grounding all flights until the 4th of January, when I was tasked to fly a patrol protecting a friendly airfield. Once again, I did not see a single enemy. Since my first flight at the front, I didn't have such a long stretch of peaceful flying. There is something to be said for our strategy, because apparently we are succeeding in keeping the enemy away from our side of the lines. On the 5th of January, Bölke scored his 7th victory, shooting down a British BE-2C. He was now on par with Immelmann. Wagers were made who would be the first to score his 8th victory. Snow started to fall, a lot of it driven by strong winds. All flights were cancelled for the next days. Today is the 10th, and while still everything is buried under a layer of snow, it has at least stopped falling during the night, and the wind has died down as well. It looks as we will be able to fly today. Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of our amazing Wings Over Flanders Fields campaign, where we are playing as the German pilot Felix von Berg, no longer flying an Aviatik 2-seater, but from now on flying a FOKKER E1 single-seat fighter. The whole squadron, FFA 62, based in Douai in Flanders, has been converted to FOKKERs, and it is now the 10th of January 1916. Hold on, you might ask. What happened to December? Well, let me show you. I have in fact flown a few missions in the meantime. But for some reason, since switching over to the FOKKER, the enemies have kept well away from us. So in the previous episode you have seen this final mission in the Aviatik on the 11th of December. Then on the 13th of December I took up one of the new FOKKERs for a solo flight around the airfield just to become familiar with the aircraft. Then we had a few days of bad weather and we had a full squadron patrol on the 18th of December where we patrolled behind friendly front lines, just guarding a friendly airfield basically, flying in the vicinity of it. Then more bad weather and also leave of 2 days over Christmas. We then had on a balloon defense mission on the 26th, more bad weather, and then on the 30th we had a patrol on the front lines but did not encounter any enemies. On the 31st another balloon defense, on the 1st of January an airfield defense, and then on the 4th of January another airfield defense patrol. So we have flown a lot of patrols well behind the front lines in our own territory, so maybe that is a reason why no enemies showed up. But we'll see what we get today. Maybe today we get another frontline patrol, which might then see us face some enemies maybe. Or maybe today they venture into our territory and engage us. We don't know, we'll see. So let's go ahead and let's go to the briefing. I will read to you the news reports that you have missed later, and also I'll introduce you to the new members of the squadron then. Just one thing before we go to the briefing. We started out with 4 FOKKER E2s, but 2 airframes got somehow smashed in the meantime, and now only Max Immelmann and Oswald Bölker are flying the E2. Everybody else is flying an E1, including me. That is not great for our combat capabilities, since the E2 is a much better aircraft compared to the E1. Much better. But it is what it is. Also, I'm no longer the lowest ranking member of the squadron. Gefreiter Siegfried Henger has joined us, and he is just a Gefreiter, so 1 rank below my own of Unteroffizier. Okay, let's go to the briefing. Let's see what they have in store for us today. What will it be? Briefing von der Kommandant. Meine Herren, our mission is patrol friendly front lines. Patrol our lines. Be on the lookout for enemy aircraft. Our destination is the friendly front sector, Abschnitt FF18, 18 miles away. And they recommend that we fly at an altitude of about 1,800 meters, and that we patrol the area for at least 22 minutes. Our patrol distance along the front sector is about 7 miles long. Okay. And we are all going. Everybody's going, which is very nice. Okay, let me show you how it looks here on the map. So they want us first to fly to a circle up waypoint down here. I'm gonna move that. Move it to up here. We'll go there, circle up to 1,400 meters. Then we'll fly to waypoint 1. And climb further to 1,600 meters. From there we will turn towards the front lines in between Armentières and Lille. Climb to 1,800 meters, and then we will patrol this little stretch of front line between Abschnitt FF18 and waypoint 2 for 22 minutes. And then we are gonna fly home. That's gonna be the plan. Up there in the north I think it's quite unlikely that we will meet French aircraft, but it is likely that we might meet British aircraft. Well, we'll see if that matters, because the British, they are flying Nieuports as well. And Nieuports, they might really give us a run for our money, so to speak. So just a quick look at everybody who's flying. I'm flying together with Max Immelmann and Ernst Hess. Both very good pilots. And then Kette 1, so chain 1, that's gonna be Bölke, Österreicher, and Gefreiter Siegfried Henker. I'm gonna take 100% of fuel on everybody, because the FOKKERs, they are not carrying much fuel, and the little fuel that they are carrying, they are burning through very fast. So fuel is always something that you need to look out for on these planes, I noticed. With that said, let's see what kind of weather we will be facing today. Okay, partial or scattered cloud cover. And a moderate breeze from the west at 14 knots. That's what they're reporting. Also, looks like everything is covered in snow. Good, okay. Let's go to the field and fly this. Anwerfen. Okay, start the engines. Welcome to the field. Oh, what a sight, huh? FOKKER, 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 FOKKER. A full line. The first one is going. That must be Immelmann. Let's go. Chocks away and off we go. Keeping her steady and slowly lifting up. The others are taking off as well. And yeah, it has snowed. Quite a lot apparently. Everything is covered in snow. Looks very nice. Nice change of scenery, if you ask me. Looks like everybody's airborne now. And Immelmann in his E2 is just leaving us behind here. Yeah, that's always a constant struggle in the E1, keeping up with the E2s. Okay, we are turning. We'll fly to the circle up waypoints, and then we are gonna climb above these clouds, I hope. Because today there are quite a lot of clouds, if we take a look around here. Oh man, the sun glare on the snow. Let's see, there he is. Yeah, let's try to get into something resembling a formation with Immelmann here. The sun glare on the snow can be blinding. But it looks like a very nice day. Apart from the clouds, that is. Not sure. They want us at 1,800 meters. I really hope that that is enough to bring us above these clouds. We'll see. We'll see. Because I don't think it's enough to stay below them. I think the cloud ceiling is lower than that. Flipping my engine here because we're trying to get into a formation. Okay. So this flight, it's gonna take some time before we reach the front lines with doing the circling up and then flying over there. So at this point I think we are gonna take a short little break, and when I return it will be with us close to the front lines, or maybe if something else happens along the way, then you will be the first to know. So for now, see you in just a moment. Welcome back. Something might be going on. I see puffs of flak over there, over the front lines basically. I'll stay with my guys here, but we might have some kind of company, or is that... what is that? Or are those friendlies returning from maybe a bombing mission? I'm not sure. We did not reach waypoint 1 yet. We circled up and we are currently on the way to the first waypoint. So we must be somewhere in the vicinity of Lens. But we have planes inbound. Might be aviatics. Might not be. We'll see. For now it looks like we are staying on course. Kette 1 is above us. Is that flak black or is it more grey? I guess we might find out soon. Newports. We are turning, we are going in. Either French or British Newports have come over the line. Looks like we have a fight on our hands. I'll try to stay above the fight for the beginning. And I'll descend into it then, at an opportune moment. You know what's really good about the FOKKER? The visibility. No top wing means that I have really good visibility. Where are they? They are behind us. I'm gonna circle above them here. There's one. He might be a good target. Let's kick it over and swoop in. Did I mention that the FOKKER E1 has a horrible rate of fire? I have a Parabellum machine gun. Oh shit! Where did he come from? I have a Parabellum machine gun with pretty much the first generation of the interrupter gear. And this thing is not good, and the Newport is more maneuverable than I am. So already I find myself in a little bit of trouble here. Didn't see that Newport slotting in behind me. And I'm really fighting right now to keep this thing from stalling. Because of this slow engine. This is really not easy. I would appreciate the help of somebody. Actually, I'm gonna reverse the turn. Try to trick him that way. Okay. I'm losing height faster than he is. I really need the help of somebody, I feel. Because otherwise I'm gonna run out of altitude very soon. I have 2 on me. Shit. Okay, this is bad, but here's a chance. Make him overshoot. Nope. Maybe. Oh, this thing is so sluggish due to its low speed. Here's a chance now. Turn, baby, turn. Keep turning. Keep turning. I should have stuck with the others. I didn't. I'm paying for it. Let me get a few shots in. shit. Woohoo. Losing height. But I needed the speed right now. Wow, okay. I'm losing height rapidly. And height is a luxury item right now for me. Okay, he went down low. They're teaming up on me. Where are the others? I need one of these two to break off, ideally. I'm afraid that I'll stall this crate. Blipping. Where'd you go? Hold up again. Yeah, that's gone. My height is gone. My height is gone. I'm in trouble now. I need to try to regain some height, but that's easier said than done. Come on, bring it around slowly. Don't stall out. Don't stall out. Oh, if only I had a faster engine. Look at this Newport. Keeping altitude over me. But still arriving within my sights. Getting a little burst in. I'm behind it now, but I know what he might be doing here. So I have to be vigilant. He might be setting me up for the other one. The FOKKER E2, by the way, has a Spandau machine gun with a much higher rate of fire. Like a proper rate of fire, not this slow thing. Damn this Parabellum with the interrupter gear. The slow version of it. I'm now... It looks like the other one fucked off. I'm now in a single fight with this guy. If I can keep him in front of me, I have a chance. But I am close to stalling here. Still, I scored some hits. I saw puffs of dust basically rising. Just trying to stay on him. There were more Newports. My other guys must have gone after the others. And I'm stuck with this guy and he has had enough. Looks like he wants to fly away. I'm just spraying his general vicinity. Hoping for a hit. He should be faster than I am. I'm gonna remain behind him for now. I survived for now. Okay, what else is going on? There's the other Newport running away. They are both running for their side of the line. I am gonna stick onto this guy. For now, just take a few long-range shots. Force him into a few maneuvers there. And it looks like he wants to have another go. He's not sure. I think he's just trying to avoid my bullets. Fuel is still looking good. Ah, damn, he has much more energy than I do. I scored a few hits there. But yeah, this machine gun being so slow, this is a real problem. He's going into some scissors, trying to shake me off, but he actually managed to get me immediately behind him. Using the opportunity, I'm able to fire a few good shots, forcing him into further maneuvers. He messed up here. He absolutely messed up, and now he's in a flak fire. This is my chance. I cannot afford to blip to gain distance. But I also must be careful to not stall the aircraft, which is very easy to do. And if I stall it at this altitude, I'm dead. I won't be able to recover in time before I hit the ground. Yeah, can't turn anymore. Need to put the nose down. I hear an engine. I think. I'm not sure. Oh, we are near an observation balloon. I just spotted it. So that's why he's suddenly receiving so much flak, but it looks like he's trying to climb above. A FOKKER up there. And another up there. He's in trouble. But he's trying to climb away from me, which he can do. He can absolutely do that. He is climbing better than I am. Now he has converted that altitude to a bit of speed and he's pulling away from me rapidly. The question is, what will he try to do? I think he is intimidated by the flak and by the other FOKKERs above him. So, looks like he's trying to run away low. But that brings him into my machine gun fire, which he's then forced to evade. Okay, this is my chance to get a little bit of an energy advantage over him. Going for some high turns here. I have a feeling like my rounds are basically just pinpricks. Annoying him more than really damaging. But I am hitting. And I am now close to stalling out again, so I gotta be careful. No rudder input. Because the rudder is a giant air brake and he's once again climbing above me. But I hear the buzzing of other FOKKER engines. Yeah, they are circling lower. They are getting involved. They are looking to get involved. So they might be able to force him down again. We might have a victim here. Okay, he's running towards the lines. Staying high, keeping energy over me. Damn, if only I had a faster engine. Okay, here we go. This might be an opportunity to get some rounds in. If I can pull the nose high enough, which I can't in time. Can at a distance. Not sure how many rounds I have left. My belt is loaded, or was loaded, with 250 rounds. I'm being shaken by flak here. Oof. He's getting it, and I'm getting it too, my god. Guys, be careful down there. Oh, that was close to him, did you see that? Come on, let's try to force him into a maneuver again. By just spraying his general area. Maybe I think I'm empty. I'm empty. Click, click, click. Nothing's happening. Okay, I'm gonna follow him for a moment. To make sure that he flies away and doesn't suddenly turn around. But I also have to be careful and watch myself here. Looks like the others thought that I have the situation handled. There is our observation balloon right there. The flak near that thing is currently shooting at this guy. Where did the others go? I have no clue. Is this guy going down? Maybe his engine is damaged. He has lost altitude compared to me. He's getting dangerously low. He's going really low. Or he just wants to stay below the flak. That's also a possibility, but he's exposing himself to another kind of danger. Flying low over the trenches means he'll get torn up by machine guns and rifle fire. So I'm gonna stay behind and I'm gonna follow for a moment. Just to see what happens. I feel like I hit him quite a number of times. So maybe I did damage something important. But I have to watch out for his friends. They might still be lingering in the area and I have nothing to defend myself with. So I don't really want to go over the front lines. I'll just observe this guy for a moment longer. And where did my guys go off to? I'm not sure. His engine is still running, but he is low. He is so low. We'll soon be over the front lines. Then this guy is... he will have big problems. I'm looking to see if I can spot maybe machine gun positions or something like that. How am I looking for fuel? The sun glare. Can't see. My aircraft seems to be mostly fine. Ah, now I can see the fuel clock. Oh yeah, still fine. Should have more than enough fuel. Enemy balloon that way. He's still flying away. I'm not sure how many new pods there were. I think about 4. So 2 of them wanted to go after me and the other 2 must have been playing with the other FOKKERs. I wonder if anybody has been brought down or if they all took a few shots at each other and then everybody went home. I will not pursue this guy much further than this. I think we should very soon be over the front line itself. And I'd like not to get shot by enemy machine gun fire from the ground. I'll stay here for just a moment longer. But then I'm going to turn southeast and fly home to dry. Wait, where'd he go? There. Their paint scheme is actually blending in nicely with the snowy ground. Or is everybody down there sitting in their dugouts, trying to keep warm, instead of standing in the trench ready with a rifle? There's a town here. I wonder where we are. I don't know, quite frankly. Wait, where'd he go again? How did I manage to lose him? He was there just a moment ago. Ah, there he is. Okay, he gained a bit of height. I guess maybe some ground fire is reaching him. Or reaching out for him. I'm gonna turn around now, because I don't want the same thing to happen to me. He's flying away. Looks like he's making it home. What a shame. But still, good fight. Good fight on his part. Yeah, he's still flying. He should be on his own side of the lines now. I believe so, yeah. Which means now I gotta find my own way back. I'm gonna first fly to that observation balloon over there. Then figure out where I am, exactly. With the help of that balloon. And then I'm gonna go home. So, that was the first fight in a FOKKER. That was our first fight in a FOKKER. What do you think? How does it compare to the Aviatik and to Otto wielding his machine gun? To be honest, Otto is a huge force multiplier. I think with Otto and his machine gun, this Newport might be dead. Who knows? But this, it is fun. Oh look, I received some hits myself. I see some holes in my wing here. But, oh, there's a tear in the wing there. But the cables are intact, that's the important part. We can still bend the wings and control the aircraft. Rudder. Okay. Elevator. Okay. Oh, so just some light hits on my aircraft, nothing serious. We still have a bunch of fuel. Should be enough to bring us home. I don't know where the others went. If they continued on the patrol, or if they turned for home as well. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, very, very interesting first fight. I think what probably shocked you the most is the low rate of fire of this Parabellum machine gun. That's now empty. It's a really slow rate of fire on the E1. Really, really slow. And that is due to, well, it's a Parabellum machine gun, it's not a Spandau. And also the very first generation of the interrupter gear. The FOKKER E2, much, much higher rate of fire. I think more than double what this thing has. It's a whole different story with the E2. But I think it's also gonna be quite some time until we get our behind into an E2. So I better get used to this here. Also, what's really noticeable about the E1 is just the lack of power in the engine. It's very noticeable. And you have seen it in this fight. I had to constantly put my nose down to pick up some speed again. I had to be extremely careful in a turn or when pulling the nose up that I don't stall the plane. And if I stall this thing at low altitude, then that's it. I'm not gonna be able to recover in time before I hit the ground. So I really have to watch out for that. Okay, we are well over our side of the lines now. I will start a little bit of a climb here, so that I can better observe my surroundings and figure out where I am. But I have to be careful. Yeah, but looks like the enemies are getting bolder again, which is to be expected from some news articles that I've read, that I will read to you later. It looks like they have reason to gain new confidence after having been shot down in huge numbers by the FOKKERs. But yeah. So, very nice fight, demonstrating the capabilities and the shortcomings of the FOKKER E1. As I said earlier, one of the really great things about this plane is just the visibility. No top wing, no struts or anything like that. No Otto sitting in front of me. The visibility all around is amazing, especially for a World War I airplane. It really is. It's very easy, or much easier than in other planes, to keep situational awareness in this thing, because you can just really look everywhere. The only really obstacles are your wings. These huge things here. Other than that, really great visibility all around. It has a very narrow and sleek body, so that's really not impeding your vision too much. Just with a kick of the rudder, I can move my tail out of the way. The square wings, they are limiting the visibility to the sides and downwards. But other than that, really great visibility. Okay, I'm at a balloon. Almost. So, where are we? When the fight started, we were on... Oh, there's an airfield here. Right there. So there's a balloon right next to an airfield. The balloon, it looks like it's just southwest of the airfield. Oh yeah, by the way, the compass is mounted on the wing. Probably it's a magnetic compass. Probably they couldn't have it inside the fuselage here, because maybe the frame structure, the tubing, would maybe interfere with the compass. Okay, we are looking for an airfield that has a balloon just to the southwest of it. It could be the airfield up there in between Loos and Carvin. But then we would see another airfield on the other side of this balloon. In that direction. So, extending from this airfield, we would see another one past the balloon. Instead, what I do see is... looks like a train yard, maybe? So a train yard near a balloon and an airfield. No, I think we're actually looking at the airfield and the balloon just north of Lens, and also there is a train yard. The train yard should be south of the balloon. That fits. That fits, okay. The whale yard, if you couldn't tell earlier, it's this here. This cluster of buildings. That's a whale yard. And that must be the whale yard just north of Lens. So from the whale yard we have to fly south-southeast, fly past Lens, and then we'll reach Douai. There should be another balloon right next to Lens, which could help us to find Douai, and I think that might be the balloon that we see over there. Yeah. That balloon right there. So I'll fly to that balloon, and from that balloon it will be just a little hop to the southeast to reach Douai. A whale yard. Well, those of you who follow this series, I'm sure that you by now have also discovered Wolfpack 345 and his Wings Over Flanders Fields series. If you haven't, do give that a watch. He has, I think, just concluded the series with an attack on the rail yard near our airfield down there. Wolfpack, it has been an absolute pleasure to watch the series. It was very well done. And well, I hope you continue. That's all I want to say right now, because I don't want to spoil anything. I do hope that you continue. It has been really awesome to watch. But yeah, right now I'm facing my own problems here. I have no ammunition, and we have now seen that the enemies today are in a mood to go over the lines. I hope they don't do it right now. I hope they let me fly home in peace. So, you know what? For now, we will take a short little break, and I'll bring you back when I'm about to land at Dubai. And here we are. I've found the airfield. We are currently diving towards it. The balloon that we just passed is over there. Let's see which way the wind blows, so that I can plan my landing. Let's have a look. Where's the windsock? There it is. Okay, the balloon. And it's blowing right across the airfield here. So we'll have to come over the tents. That's not great. It doesn't leave me much room for the landing. I don't think I can pull that landing off. The airfield is a bit narrow. That wind direction is really the worst one. Yeah, that's just too narrow. I will have to try another approach here. I'll come in a little bit from the side, like this. And then maybe turn at the last moment or something like that into the wind. Okay, blipping the engine. The FOKKER E1, no throttle control. So it's either full on or full off. By blipping the engine I can interrupt the ignition. And that's one way to slow down. Well, the only way really. But I must be careful not to overdo it. Otherwise, problem. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Did it. A bit bouncy, but I did it. Let's turn around. Let's turn back towards the tent. Oh wow, okay. I'll go to that tent over there. Yeah, with no auto in front of me, the visibility is really great. It seems that I'm the only one here, so I really have no idea where the others are. If I should maybe wait for them before ending the mission, I don't know. Or if they went to another friendly airfield, that's also a possibility. And that's it, engine off. Okay, I made it. I'm alive. I made it through my first fight in this little death trap. Oh, thankfully those were just Newport 10, not one of the new Newport 11s. Because, yeah, we'll come to the news reports in just a moment. And it's not looking too good, I can tell you that much. But I made it home. I made it home. I guess the others have gone to another friendly airfield, possibly. So maybe at this point I just end the mission and we go to the briefing. Or should I wait? Maybe they continued the mission, but how much fuel did I have left? Very little. Very little at the end. As I said, these things don't have much fuel and they burn through the little that they have very fast. So I think even if they went to continue the mission, by now they really have to look for a place to land. So I believe at this point I'm just gonna end it and we are going to the briefing. Let's see. Let's see what was achieved today. Okay, I fired all my 250 rounds and 18 hit. 7% accuracy. I did spray and pray a lot. I really did. It's good that even 18 rounds hit. So total flight time was 56 minutes. We must keep the pressure on the enemy and assist our ground forces. Get ready for your next sortie. Final status, you landed at your home field. Your aircraft was moderately damaged and it is estimated that it will take 1 day to repair. Work will commence immediately on this machine. Yeah, our airfield is still damaged. Okay. Let's see. Patrol the area around the designated front sector. Kette 2 progress was as follows. A total of 3 aircraft took off without incidents. 3 machines landed safely. Okay, so they landed somewhere else. No enemy machines were shot down. Ha. Let's go to the details. So either it wasn't recorded properly or I'm the only one who got off any shots. Which would surprise me, actually. That actually would surprise me. But okay, I guess it just wasn't recorded for some reason. Okay, yeah, that's just the same text again. I'm not going to claim anything because, well, the enemy aircraft managed to get away. So let's just hit done and continue. Neuer Tag, a new day. Another day dawns on the Western Front. It is now the 12th of January. The enemy must be as tired as we are with this never-ending mayhem, but we must continue. A repaired machine is ready for use. Currently the ground war on the front is quiet, apart from minor barrages and exchanges of small arms fire. Be careful of machine gun nests when flying low over the front. Things remain busy in our air sector and the air war has been dubbed the FOKKER Scourge. Viel Glück. Let's continue. Oh, news articles. Okay. You know what? Let's go through this chronologically. So I'm gonna go back to December. This is the last one that you have seen. But then on the 15th of December we received news that Haig is now British Commander-in-Chief. General Sir Douglas Haig was today officially appointed as Commander-in-Chief of the British Expeditionary Force. General Haig replaces Sir John French, who has been criticized for poor handling of his reserves in the failed Battle of Loos in September. And then on the 20th of December, withdrawal from Gallipoli. After months of futile fighting and no prospect of reinforcement or victory, over the last 10 days, 105,000 Anzac troops and 300 guns have been evacuated from Anzac Cove and Suvla Bay. About 35,000 troops still hold Helles, but it seems inevitable that these troops will be pulled out as well in the coming weeks. 22nd of December. Delivery of FE2B machines slow. Only about 30 of the new FE2B machines have been delivered to British squadrons to date, but production is on the rise. One fully equipped new squadron is expected to be heading to France each month from now on. The machines have proven to be a match for the German Eindeckers, so increased numbers should give British airmen renewed hope of countering the FOKKER's domination of the sky. So these machines we have to look out for. Then on the 25th, Christmas arrives, no peace seen. Despite optimistic predictions in 1914 that the war would be over by Christmas, the second Christmas of the conflict is now upon us. The fighting continues with no end in sight. Glad tidings are but a faint memory for a world caught up in this bitter war. 1st of January 1916. A new year and no end in sight. New Year's Day in this second winter of war brings little hope of change. The Allied and Central Powers remain deadlocked in the grip of trench warfare, with both sides building their forces for the inevitable battles of 1916. In the air, the German Eindeckers continue to roam the sky with impunity, decimating the hapless BE-2Cs, Caudrons, Brigettes, Farmans, and Voisins of the Allies. This so-called Fokker scourge has resulted in a low state of morale for the poor Allied flyers who deem themselves to be no more than Fokker fodder. And yet the important work of observation and bombing goes on, in spite of the ever-present likelihood of death at the hands of the likes of Immelmann and Bölke, the newest heroes of the German nation. The only real counter to the Fokkers and their deadly interrupter gear forward-firing machine guns are the FE2B pushers, but these are in short supply and outnumbered by the German flyers. 4th of January, carnage in the skies. Casualty reports indicate that almost 50 British aircrew have been killed or wounded in combat during the last 6 weeks. This unprecedented loss rate makes November and December the worst months yet for British flyers in the ongoing Fokker scourge, as they refer to it. So that's why we had such a calm December, I guess. But now, 6th of January, Nieuport 11 to enter service. A new Nieuport Fighting Scout is reported to be arriving at the front. Retaining the pedigree to pre-war Nieuport racers, the machine is said to be fast and maneuverable with a front-mounted 80 horsepower Leron 9C 9-cylinder rotary engine powering a 2-blade propeller. Primary armament is a single Lewis-type machine gun fitted in the center of the upper wing, as the Allies still lack a viable synchronized machine gun solution. This machine is expected to allow the hard-pressed French air service to now meet the Fokker monoplane on better than equal terms. Pilots are cautioned that the lower wing is not strong and can twist at high speed. Then on the 8th of January, Gallipoli evacuation complete. The evacuation of the Gallipoli Peninsula has been completed, with the final removal of 35,000 men from Hellas in the last month. The evacuation operation has easily been the most successful element of the entire campaign. Painstaking efforts were being made to deceive the 100,000 watching Turkish troops into believing that this movement of Allied forces did not constitute a withdrawal. The overall cost of the campaign, however, has been high. Australia lost 8,700 men at Gallipoli, with New Zealand losing 2,700. 21,000 British soldiers were killed. The French lost 10,000, the Indians 1,300, and Newfoundland 50. Some 85,000 of the defending Turkish troops were killed, with many more wounded. Man, the battles in World War I, if you look at the casualty figures, it's just so crazy. 12th January, Pour le Mérite awarded. Today, Oswald Bölke and Max Immelmann were the first German pilots to receive the Pour le Mérite. Pilots to receive the award must attain 8 aerial victories. So yeah, both have scored 8 victories. Let's take a look at that. Intel room. Aces. Are they aces in our squadron? Yeah, we see here that on the 12th of January, Bölke has shot down somebody. An RE7. And then Immelmann, also on the 12th, has shot down somebody. A Vickers FB. Well, both 8 victories to date. We have more historic aces in our squadron. You know what? Why not introduce you to the new members of the squadron right now? So, Bölke, the famous German ace, he has rejoined the squadron after having been absent for a few months. And he's already, once again, stacking kills. He's doing well, and he will continue to do well for some time. If you want to read the text here, pause the video, because I'm not gonna do it right now. If you can't read this, let me know in the comments, then I might read it on the next episode. Okay, then we have Leutnant der Reserve Ernst Hess. We had him before the conversion of the squadron. He still hasn't scored a kill, he will at some point. Then we have Immelmann, you know him already. Leutnant der Reserve Alfred Österreicher. He has also joined the squadron. He is a historical ace, so at some point he's gonna score some kills. And that's the historical aces in our squadron. Apart from them, we do have somebody else. So, Bölke, Immelmann, myself, and then we have Gefreiter Siegfried Henger. He, apart from myself, well, we are the only non-historical aces here. Or, well, pilots who are not historical aces. That's how I should say it. Siegfried Henger. So by now, he has flown 8 missions, 7 flying hours, so relatively new, but he has 1 confirmed kill to his name. He's a Gefreiter, so 1 rank below my own. And he's a good pilot, but with many bad habits. Great morale. That's the squadron right now. That's our squadron right now. And I think after having that engagement, I will soon apply for some rest, for some leave. But yeah, that shall be today's mission. Man, what a fight. That was really something. That was really something. I'm lucky to be alive. When I saw those 2 Newports on my tail, I thought that this is it. 1, I can just about fight. 2, not really. 2 of them, that's a whole different story. But even 1, you've seen how much faster and maneuverable the Newport is compared to my plane. It's a stark difference. He can actually climb, he seems to retain energy better. And, well, I can't. I don't have the horsepower. I just don't. The engine on this thing is not up to the task. It's simply not. But at some point I'm sure I'll receive an E2. Until then I have to hold out. And you now have to hold out until the next episode. So, for now, I want to thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope that you have enjoyed this first look at the FOKKER E1, and I hope you are looking forward to more. Until then, have some really great days and goodbye.